I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, this August 6, 2013 monthly Borough Council meeting in West Virginia will be audio taped as well as video taped by my colleague in the audience. At this time, I'll take resident comments. Name it.
Several meetings ago, I asked that we have an outlet sign put in our neighborhood, and nothing's been done yet. I was just wondering if we have one right up back that probably can move. It's on the corner of West and Cooper.
But right when we go in there by the Tombstone place, the monument place, there's a sign that says no outlet. That's just as you pull in the plant.
Did they put one when we went in?
Did anybody else see that?
We need one downtown towards where people can see sitting.
Well, you can see it sitting at the light there.
Down in.
Coming down the hill, and you hit the light, just as you pull in there, right across from the monument place, there's no outlet.
We get 8 to 10 cars a day in our neighborhood that don't belong there.
I don't know how much closer you can get though.
Well, moving down towards the light there, we had to put a chain across our driveway, our back driveway. We have a lot of money in that.
Yeah, I remember you.
Comes up there and turns around.
Yeah, I remember you saying about that.
We went about $90 worth of chain just so people couldn't turn around in that driveway. It's not that we're that fussy, but we have a lot of money in that driveway. We've had service trucks, dump trucks, but somehow they're getting confused out there and don't know where they're going.
Would you be able to contact? Would you want to contact them?
Evidently, the sign that's there isn't working.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe a bigger sign. I don't know. It's not that big, but I can see it.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah.
We know. Strangers coming in, maybe they're being led in by their GPS, and since that road has all been changed,
Yeah, that's a good point.
people could be coming in there not knowing where they're going, and I understand it. Honestly, there's 8 to 10 people a day.
Okay, but I want you to call PennDOT, because there's nothing, and we can suggest this, but when you come down the hill, all right, we all know it. I mean, you have to watch even though we know when we come down around that corner. But my suggestion is, where those lights are, you come down the hill, there's lights there. There needs to be a sign there, like through traffic. You know what I mean? People come there, there's more signs turning this way. The signage is very poor there, in my opinion. So could you see if they could put a through traffic arrow and sign say through traffic in between those two lights, so people would go straight around that bend. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
See if they can do that. Just, make sure you tell them what, we have
We have another problem too. When we're coming from Kittanning to turn into our neighborhood, we have a turn lane. People that are going into the daycare are coming down our turning lane and turning into the daycare. I mean, I've talked to several people that said they've almost had a head on there.
Well, officer, correct me if I'm wrong. Is that a turning lane
It is
only? No, but is it a turning lane? Period. It's a shared turning lane.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear
Is
the
that
original.
there by the carousel? Thank you.
Yes.
There's a turning lane. Go ahead. Tell officer.
As you're coming up to the 10, we have a turning lane into the roof.
Yes.
Okay? There are arrows that specifically have with a broken line when you turn in, specifically go into the roof lane. And there are arrows there. If people are coming from 268 and coming into that lane to go into the daycare, and it's very dangerous.
It is.
Somebody has their kids in the car going to daycare, someone's going to be killed. I don't know how it can be resolved. I mean, we love the light. The light is great. I'm not complaining about that.
You better not be.
No, I've only worked for 30 years. I'm not going to tell you how old I am. 30
Okay,
years,
32.
okay.
32.
All right, but anyway, okay. Yeah, I don't know what we can do there. I mean,
Yeah.
we can tell, we can suggest the PennDOT to make no left-hand turn
And
there.
it's sad because the
But
turning
that's-
for the daycare is down toward where Bandy Brothers used to be. So they have a long ways to travel in the lane that we are using to use to get into our
Yeah.
housing plan.
The issue that's there is they have a specific left-hand turn only lane.
Okay,
That goes
that's
into the
my
reverse
question.
lane. And behind that are multiple turn lanes. In other words, you can pull into the center lane and make a multiple turn either right or left coming from whatever opposing direction you're coming. You know, traffic that comes around and cuts that short, travels in
Yeah,
the other lane. That's the
Yeah, they could be
issue.
pulled in right prior to that and they're face-to-face. Could you,
That's actually a violation, you know, we can stop people for whatever.
okay, well, here, can you visit
Yeah,
people with
this-
carousel? I mean,
Yeah.
they're in contact with every one of their clients and
Right.
parents. They could send out, get everybody a newsletter, or not a newsletter, or something to say, hey, we're having this complaint, it's a dangerous situation. Please try to go down as far as you can.
We can actually just draft something and hand them a leaflet that they can pass out.
Okay, that's good too, yeah. Hopefully that nips out the problem.
Okay, thank you.
Sure, Betty. Next resident comments? No, she's next, sorry. Your name and address?
My name's Mary Lasher, and I live on Harrison Street. There was a robbery, well, just across the street from me 2 weeks ago, and the state police came. Do the borough police work the weekends? This was on a Saturday.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, they do.
Do they work?
Yes, they do. Not every weekend. We're going to address that tonight here in another personnel matter, okay? But we do have coverage on weekends. Our officer, Airgood, has gotten hired full-time with the sheriff's department, so we're going to have to, he still wants to work for us, and that's something we're going to have to do. That's been an issue for us too, so he's not going to be able to work the weekend when he needs to work because the other commitments throughout the week, he's working full-time for them throughout the week, so it's a situation we're going to discuss here, you know.
I just wondered.
Yes.
Actually, during that period of time, we were scheduled for an evening shift, because that was the request there that we're out for the 4 to 12 shift whenever we have a lot of possible drunk drivers or actions going on in town. The daylight, whenever that had happened, the state actually handled that particular call. We're aware of that. We were working with them, you know, to help make some kind of a resolution to that issue.
We're going to speak about that in my report.
Well, when something like that would happen on a weekend, who would I call? I mean,
911, if they will notify our department if no one responds or if we're not going to do, they'll call state police right away. So within a matter of
just call
minutes.
911.
Yes.
Is that where the people pretended to be authority, water
Yeah.
authority or something?
We're going to speak about that in my report.
All right,
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next resident comments?
Marie Morris, Market Street. Question, the other night there was a call down in Kittanning, the intersection, for the fire department, correct? So about an hour later, I don't know how long it was, I was sitting on my porch and I saw a rescue truck go past Arthur to go get gas, I'm sure. The next truck going was the board truck, and it turned into Arthur. Kind of wondered why it was with the rescue truck. And then the next day, I was told that the board truck was at the wreck. Now, when do we start paying for Kittanning's wrecks?
When, correct me if I'm wrong, Marty, but if another fire company requests backup from any other municipality, they go.
Fire company, not the borough truck.
Borough dump truck stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you meant the rescue truck.
No, I've worked long enough with these people, I know what they did do. But it was the borough dump truck. And it was done.
Okay.
He was on the way to get gas at the time.
It doesn't matter, we shouldn't go.
He couldn't get across. He was on the way to the fueling station.
He wasn't going to the accident.
You
Nobody's
shouldn't have
getting
been
across
down
the
here.
bridge.
If you get gas, you get it up here.
Okay, I guess that's their discretion.
Do they not have to use for gas for don't they need to go to Bragg and stuff?
Radigan's isn't,
It's
yeah.
not, it's in Kittanning.
Well, I know where Bragg is.
That's where they go to get
But
gas.
I knowing that the board, some of the board workers work also on the fire department. I'm pretty sure it's.
Anything else, Gary?
Just a question.
Sorry, I passed you by.
I'm Nancy Yost, I live on Northern Avenue. And I'm here to complain about my neighbor, Mr. Seiler.
Okay.
And the jungle that he has inside his building.
I was gonna cover that under new business.
You were there?
Yes, I
Did you
visited
speak to him?
personally.
Well, yesterday he did cut some of the higher trees,
Okay.
but he did throw branches on the grass. So you would never be able to tell that the weeds were that high.
Okay.
Um,
This is between your buildings, between this building and your house, by that fence. All right, like I said, I did have a discussion. All right, and then,
Did you see the building, the old building?
yes, I've seen, I talked to him about that. Yes, I talked to him about that.
Frog pond on the roof.
Yeah, he mows grass, that's another issue that we discussed tonight. On Northern.
Oh, yes, that is dangerous. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. But he had a legitimate complaint that I'm gonna bring up, I'll talk about it later.
Okay, and I have something to show you.
Yes, you can approach.
You wanted to
Yes.
see the,
Yeah, I talked to other landowners. Landowners. And this possibly could be a borough issue, it could possibly be a legal issue, I don't know until. Yeah, that's what I want to see.
What? The high grass. What happened? It was taken care of by high grass.
All right, okay.
The guy that restored that grass did not use the proper seed. And he used too much rock. And we are taking care of it.
Yeah,
Why
that's what I
doesn't somebody do that?
Okay. No, it's a right-of-way dispute, and what the dispute is, but is this a borough right-of-way, or is it a legal right-of-way? Well, so that's what we have to determine. That's why, who has the lot right now? Who has a,
Should be recorded if it's one of the laws. It's in the deed.
yeah, so could you get this to the courthouse for us? What's the plan?
Isn't that awful? Isn't that awful? They just, why did they put up with it? Somebody told
But who's right away? Is it her right away? Is it legal? Is it her right away? Who's right away? Is it? Here's the verse. Could you get a map, please? Yeah.
I need to know who the property is. Well, hey, this is
Just give me the names.
that's cool.
Yeah, see, that's it. This is.
Somewhere outside. It never goes by. She sits and reads the Bible. That's exactly what she told me.
So that,
Private class.
All this She told me that when she, you know, in case she was something.
yeah, but that's now what has to be determined is it an alley? Yeah, if it's an alley, it's a borough alley. Or right? Yeah, that's what we don't know. Yeah, but that's what the dance road. All right, you're saying it's a private, so it's not an alley. You can't say alley. An alley is a borough. We used to live here before they came to us.
Oh, God.
You can see where, you know what the problem is? Bring it down. Yeah, we'll out. All right. I'll bring it right back. All right. Yeah, okay. All right, so he's going to get the deed. Let's hold on a second.
Yeah.
All right. No judgment, you shall not be judged. All right. Okay. Next comment. I'll give you an update on that. Bob Vanesti used to live in a house in this area, so he has a map that he's going to bring back down, and after the meeting, we will review this again. Okay, next comments?
Carrie Gossett, Southern Avenue, C-A-R-Y.
Gossett.
Gossett with a T, two S's, two T's, just like Luke.
All right, and then what's the
Here, what's the ordinance?
What's the address?
Oh, 107 Southern.
Okay. What's the ordinance
On cats roaming the neighborhood at night.
There isn't any.
There's no ordinance at all for cats.
No,
We have an ordinance for dogs, but no cats.
We don't have an ordinance for dogs.
Oh, there's no ordinance for dogs either.
Now, which is something we're going to be working on, because we've had numerous complaints about barking dogs. And then you saw in the paper where that pit bull has killed 3 dogs in Pittsburgh, and they're having a heck of a time with that, because at that point it's a police issue, and there's no ordinances, no nothing that they can apply. But no, there are no, we've had numerous complaints about cats, and there's nothing we can do.
So can't we pass an ordinance on the cats?
But what would be your suggestion? I mean, people dump off cats and put collars on them. I mean,
How about loosening?
yes.
I mean, what if we require that, I mean, you have to have a license for a dog, why can't you have to have a license for a cat?
That's never passed.
I
Never
mean,
fly.
I don't know, you know, there's no,
I guess, do you want to, are these coming through your yard?
Yeah, through my yard, through my father-in-law's yard.
Would you be interested in trapping them? A live trap. Now.
I hope so.
The borough has traps that we can, if you trap them and catch them, what are you doing?
Well, that's working for the store.
Okay.
But we had this problem several years ago. Okay? We had this problem several years ago, so the board purchased some live traps.
Okay.
We're willing to give them to you, okay?
Okay.
You can, whatever you catch, it's your responsibility though. So, you know, you
Sure.
might catch a raccoon. But we only ask them to take the cats to the, you know, if it's a cat or a dog, you take the dog to the store.
Will he be charged for that?
But they're not taking the
No?
orphans to the store, they're full. We heard, we knew somebody that wanted to get rid of cats, and they said they're full, they have no room for them. So I don't know what to do.
That's already on us right now. I mean, that's what our
Okay, well, we'll do some brainstorming or something. All right, thank you.
Spread orange rinds and lemon rinds, you know, like your bushes and stuff. They don't like citrusy type smells.
Noted.
Any other borough comments?
Michael Hawley, Butler Road. Okay. I'm sure, I don't know who all heard about this dog at the Root Property Apartments. And
Dog where?
a dog on the Root Property. That's, okay, this dog was,
Oh, I didn't know. Yes, I was going to
okay.
touch on new business.
Well-
calls I made, that.
Okay, but I would like to share some things about
Okay.
that dog. I mean, I didn't find out until August the 4th about this dog by a resident. And she asked me if I'd look into it, so I did. I went to the property at 9 o'clock in the evening. I waited 2.5 hours later to see if the dog was taken in. Then I waited total 5 hours before I actually made a trip to the state police barracks. And as I did, because you know, this dog has no shelter. And that's my biggest argument here. And
Yeah, I've been down there twice.
I got PETA involved as well.
Who?
PETA, P-E-T-A.
Yes.
And I know people will argue about the word shelter, but shelter is very easy to define. A picnic table does not classify as shelter. And this is under the Crimes Code, 5511, and it clearly says shelter. So these people could be prosecuted. And as PETA says, it's up to our police, you know, to do that.
Okay.
And I definitely, you know, and Mr. Gahagan was very polite. We spoke for a good while about this, you know, but I definitely want this pursued.
Okay.
And I'm definitely going to be working on PETA and getting somebody involved in the community as well
Please
on top
do.
of that.
All right. Here's my phone calls. I went down there, checked it out a couple times, no change, you know, friendly dog, I went over petted it. No food, no water, no shelter. So I called the Washington Storm to see if I could get a number to call, you know, stating what I saw. Well, Armstrong County does not have a humane officer.
That is correct.
Right? And a neighboring county cannot come in to Armstrong County. Butler County has one, but they can't come into Armstrong County. They said your only recourse at this time is through your local police department.
That is correct.
So that ties into that. So let's keep that moving. And
Because, you know, I said
now,
anybody.
do we have to wait for PETA? What do we have to wait? What do
No.
we need?
They're going to be working with me and they're going to be educating me more on this because this is all new to me.
Okay, when do we visit the
But
owner with something that has teeth in it to say, hey, you're going to
Well-
be prosecuted if you do not comply?
You know,
Yes.
I was just made aware, informed by Ms. Kittanning here, that she feels that the family's moving out as we speak. They're unpacking their car.
5 today, I saw they were putting things in the car and the so-called curtains are off the window.
I mean, that's, we don't know for sure, but it sounds like.
Yeah, that poor dog.
well, thank you. 'Cause
Fill us in with information that we will tonight. I talked with them yesterday.
Okay. Could you site visit that?
Bring you up to speed on what's going on in a particular situation. I was able to make contact with the individual, live at that residence, and visit the dog. The dog is not, you know, malnutrition or any of that kind of thing. The issue, I believe, is just, you know, a shelter issue. I've gone by in multiple locations, or multiple times at location, and, you know, the dog has not been out. So, for us to be able to issue some type of criminal charge to go against that, we have to show that, you know, this has been a durational thing and somebody needs that at that point in time to be the complaint of the victim, and in which we would enforce a criminal act. Mr. Hawley and I spoke directly about this, you know, he's willing to do so. We stopped today, gave them the warning directly. You know, if they need to have some type of, if they're going to have the dog outside on a current basis, there needs to be a permanent type of shelter in the dog house or whatever else. The portion of it, if you're in and out, it would be like no different from anybody else putting their dog out in their backyard on a leash, you know, underneath the tree kind of a situation. You know, do we cite them because they're letting their dog go out and run and get exercise? You know, so that's where we're kind of at a little bit of a sticky set of circumstances there. We have to be able to, you know, concretely say, you know, at this point in time, we view these types of offenses happen.
I personally saw the dog laying in the hot beating sun with no shade of available whatsoever. And then I'm only passed there a few times.
And it's one of those situations where, you know, if it's not there, whenever we stop by to do something about it. You know,
But does it take an officer to be the only one to view this? It can't be just my word, you know, come to you, which I witnessed this dog for, you know, 5 hours.
You want me to sign something that I witnessed it also?
As far as that goes, you were asking about something with teeth in it. Yes, we did give them a warning that they need to have some type of shelter taken care of. The dog does have its shots. There was a rescue dog from Allegheny County to transferring the dog licensing up to Armstrong County. So at that point in time, you know, they know that if this continues, they'll receive, you know, charges with regard to the
Thanks for following up on that. Thanks, Mike, for doing the work you're doing.
Well, you're welcome. Because, you know, I just want to say, if anybody knows of something like this, we have to stand up and do something. Because, you know, we should be ashamed of ourselves if we don't stand up and do something. And, you know, and I know people are afraid to get involved sometimes. But are we going to let the criminals in our community become the bullies? Or are we going to fight back? So when you see something, we should not be afraid to stand up and say something.
Absolutely, and this is a perfect example. And hopefully it's rectified, okay, with your visit.
And I do have more, and I know I have 5 minutes, but that included the officer speech as well. Okay.
Wait, he's not done yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay. And I just want to ask, Michelle, the website hasn't been updated yet, and about the...
Nancy just gave me the update.
Okay. I just wanted to check to make sure.
I gave her a revised statement.
Okay, thank you. And also for the new building, have you discussed about a security system going into the new building?
No, we have not.
Okay, and I hope you do that before the building's built and put that into plans during wiring.
That will be costly.
Honestly, if you go with ADT, with new structure, everything else, seriously, I think we're looking between $600 to $800 to have it installed, and of course the monthly fee.
Okay, we'll look at the other ones too.
Okay. I mean, I'm just with ADT. Honestly, they have so many options and other things you can do. And one last thing, what about the ordinance code book? I mean, because that was brought up back in March of 2010, and then August 7th, that's whenever Jens decided the council was going to revise it for approval.
We started the codification process, and they sent all that back to us with their recommendations. All right, we changed all that, sent it back to them, then they sent it to us again, and right now, you know, they're thinking this is a done deal, but there's a number of issues in there that we need to sit down as a committee and resolve before we send it back. And we have to add the tree ordinance. No, West Virginia. So that's where we stand on that.
I mean, because that's a long time.
Well, they didn't get it to us for a long time. We sent them all this stuff, and it was a year or two before they returned it to us.
Right.
I mean, yeah, maybe we're dragging our feet a little bit too, you know, it wasn't all us.
And one last thing, did we get an application for the signage?
You know,
We're working on that. We're working on that. The ordinance.
now, this is gonna be a addendum to the sign ordinance, correct? This is gonna be not a new sign ordinance.
No, it's not a sign, it's just an application. So
You know,
fill it out.
and with that ordinance, you just better look that over. And honestly,
You told us that the last
you need to revise it because I mean, have you thought about height, about a restriction, how high you want these signs to be? Because the old ordinance is so vague, and I'm not trying to, you know, put anyone. I know it was a quick thing that you wanted to get done to put into place, but if once you're working on it, I would advise
Yeah.
you need about height, you know, like you said, dimensions, everything
I
else.
thought that wasn't included in that, but we'll look into it. I don't want to belabor it.
Yeah, because I mean, do you want a sign possibly going 50 feet in the air? I mean,
It can only be so big, so maybe you don't see it.
it could be so big, but honestly, but it could be,
Why not? I realize that.
you know, I know a lot of places do that, but
Yeah. All right, thanks. Yeah.
you're welcome.
Back to the dogs. We always had a state dog man. And,
There's a state leash law.
well, if, he was always on duty, Monday through Friday. His last name was Kramer. And if he had a problem, when we got a call about a dog, we would call him. In fact, I had a problem.
Yeah, we don't have one of those in Armstrong County.
What happened to him?
Actually,
He's a state-
Mr. Fraser is still the state dog
Yeah,
officer.
he's a
State dog
Canada.
officer.
And
Yeah.
he was contacted with regard to the particular set of circumstances going on there. And he looked into being able to make contact with the individuals. I guess he tried a couple different times that, you got to speak to somebody to know who you're in charge. He was not able to get in contact with anybody.
Okay, now, does he have the authority to confiscate a dog that's
He does.
tied and leashed and licensed at a
He does,
residence?
if that dog meets the criteria,
I can see a dog running around with no license. That might be with the dog catcher.
you know what I mean?
That's
If the
almost
dog meets the
confiscating the dog.
criteria, if it's, if it's abused, malnourished, that kind of thing, if it's, infested with legion things, whether the health of the animal.
Okay, good. He has been contacted by you?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
And I would like to thank Bernie, our mayor, because I did go to his home about this dog incident. He did take the time, he spoke with me, and he was going to rectify that situation immediately. And Mr. Bowser, I thank you.
Any other resident comments? Okay, this time I'd like to call executive session on personnel.
See what's happening.
Come on, Daddy, move a little faster. Get out of here. Actually, I can just break down.
I hope they're not.
Yeah, we'll watch a little bit, yeah, sure.
Tell you what, just on your
I didn't know if you were trying to push me away or something.
Okay, yeah, the survey.
Yeah, getting up, yeah.
You can take these. I'll just read it.
No, just hand deliver my,
I didn't know that was my fault.
I'm sorry?
hand deliver my paper.
Looks like a little.
I what?
Never mind.
Bring your hearing aid up. Just say it.
Thank you.
Oh, boy.
Wait, what Philip David there's like a squeak.
What is it?
Did your daughter go away on vacation? Diane, did she go on vacation?
They just delivered to Butler last night.
Well, if you want to say something like that, and after that, council what.
We even come down.
Yes.
Not Calico, not Calico. What do they call them? It's like gray, black, you got different ones. You always have an yeah, Tiger Cat, whatever.
I don't think I knew Lucy Street.
She lived in Mississippi.